What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I can finally share my full thoughts and I guess my review of the Realme 8 Pro, but I'm not going to do it in a typical review way. I like to just answer your questions that you've asked and then I'll share some thoughts afterwards. So first up we have a question that says, is it 5G? The answer is no. This is just an LTE 4G mobile phone. I'm not sure if there's a 5G variant. I've asked the question from Realme. They haven't got back to me yet. So as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know in the comments. Actually, I'll update my description just to let you know an answer to that question. The next question is, do you need to give me one? No, I don't need to give you one. But I might do a giveaway at some point, so make sure you subscribe. If I do have a giveaway with Realme, I'll make sure you guys know. And yeah, so if you have a notification, you'll know when the next video is, and you'll know if I do a giveaway. The next question, what is the Realme 8 Pro price in rupees? So in the UK, this device is £279. And I imagine in India, that should be around 27,000 rupees. So I'd say likely between 20 and 25,000 rupees. But as soon as that's confirmed again, I'll put it in the description area so you guys know for sure. What is the refresh rate? Unfortunately, this doesn't have a high refresh rate, although the screen is quite smooth. I mean, in use, it doesn't feel laggy at all. It's not as fast as 120 Hertz, but it is a 60 Hertz screen in the Realme 8 Pro, so only 60 Hertz. But in my experience, it feels quite smooth. It doesn't feel slow. Next question is it coming to Australia? I'm not sure the answer to that question. Again, I've asked that of Realme. They haven't let me know yet, but I'll put that in the description as soon as they give me an update. Next question is about the camera. Which camera is better, the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max or the Realme 8 Pro? As far as I know, they both use the same Samsung HM2 108 megapixel sensor. So the real differences will be in terms of algorithms and processing, but the same sensor is in both cameras for the main camera. And I can't tell them apart. Maybe you guys can, but the cameras look the same to me. So I wouldn't put that down as a point of difference between the two devices. Which processor does it have? I believe it's the Snapdragon 720. So yeah, 720G processor on this. It's not one of the latest Snapdragon processors, but it is pretty decent in use. I haven't found it particularly so, especially for the price you're paying for this device. I'm not surprised to see that processor in there personally. Next question, does it have a glass back? No, it does not have a glass back, and it has... this is maybe the thing I dislike most about this device is that, why? Why does it say Dare to Leap on the back of the device? Otherwise, it's a kind of, it feels like almost a polycarbonate plastic of some sort. Feels tough, and I like that it's got a slightly frosted or textured finish to it. I just don't get why they did that. It doesn't look good to me. What I would have preferred to see is have the Dare to Leap on the back. It's still quite bold in terms of branding, but it gives people the choice of having it there or not. And I really like the finish on the back of here, so I don't get why they would have done that. It's like a mirrored cutout of the textured finish. I think that for me is a little bit of a misstep and may put some people off of this device. Otherwise, I really like the design of the phone, actually. The only other thing I said I think in my other video that I didn't like was the gaps between the cameras. I think they attract dust, which annoys me a lot. I like the look of it, but I just wish they'd raised this bit of glass here or the plastic here, just so that it all sat flush, just like you do get with... The S21 is a good example of that. They've raised the whole camera bump so that you don't have any gaps in between each of the cameras, and I think that works better for me personally. So yeah, I think, yeah, no glass back, but I do generally like the design of this phone. I like the metal around the top. I like that the screen's flat as well. The OnePlus 9 has done the same thing. They've moved away from curved glass on the front, and it's just gone for a more flat glass along the front, which looks good, and then the back is curved, so it still fits nicely in your hand, but then you don't have that extra, screen which basically doesn't have any function anyway and causes, accidental presses and stuff. So I like the flat screen, no glass back on the back, to answer the question. Next question. how is the battery performance? So it's got a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, and it has 50-watt fast charging. And I've been out taking pictures with this, and it's got my social media logged in. Standby battery time is great. It doesn't really budge at all. Like if I left this phone just on and didn't use it all day, it will move, maximum 2 or 3% all day. If I'm out using it a lot, like I did a shooting day with it, I say probably I started the day maybe around 9 o'clock in the morning, out all day shooting with my phone, taking some video clips. By the time I got home around 7 p.m., the battery was on about 43%. So I would describe that as all day battery life. And like I said, it's got 50-watt fast charging as well. So from, around 10% to 100, you could charge that in about half an hour to 45 minutes, which I think is really great at this price. So yeah, battery life, I'm impressed with. That's it for your questions, by the way. I haven't had any other questions about it. If you have any questions that I haven't asked, that haven't been asked to me, and that I haven't answered, put them down in the comment section below. But before we move on, let's get back to the camera question and price, because I didn't actually, before I made this video, I was working on another camera comparison, and it had included the Realme 8 Pro just as a baseline. I hadn't seen the price of this device when I was making that bit of content. And I've checked it before doing this video, and I cannot believe that a phone that's only £279 is producing results like this. So let's just take a look over here. Here's 4 pictures that we've got up. I'll share a link to them as well in the description area. Here's 4 pictures from 4 different devices. 3 of them are relatively new. One of them is a phone from last year. I want to know if you guys, just as a glance, if you can tell me which phone is the Realme 8 Pro. Because, like I said, I didn't know the price of this device when I was shooting these, and I was just looking at it as, a new flagship from a challenger brand. But let's zoom in quickly actually, so you guys can get a better look. So when you zoom in, it starts to give away the quality. There's certain things that I noticed straight away. But that's zoomed in at 100%. There's a lot of detail here on this one. A little bit more blurry here, but there's better detail in the flower. The yellow is a bit muted though. But it's done well with the flower in general. Just lost some of the detail on the stem. This one's just blurred all of the detail in the stem and in the leaf here. But it's done the best job, I think, of the flower itself. The yellow really pops. The pink has good gradients. The detail here in the subject, I think this phone's decided that the subject of the image is the flower. So it's focused on the actual flower, not the stem, and blurred the area around it. This image here, it's decided it's a close-up subject and just pushed everything it thinks is detail. So it's got really, really good detail here, but the flower's soft. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I was surprised by this, but this image on the far left, image number 1, is the Samsung S21 Ultra. This is the OnePlus 9, co-engineered by Hasselblad, if that means anything. This here is the OnePlus 8 Pro, so last year's OnePlus flagship. And this image on the far right, image number 4, is the Realme 8 Pro. And I'm astonished. I really am. This phone is a fraction of the price of the other 3. And the camera on it is really good. There's not really any huge differences here. Again, let's zoom out again so you guys can see the whole picture. But you're going to be happy with all 4 images for sure. None of them are bad pictures. But if you're on a budget and you just want a decent phone that has, relatively fast processor for the price, decent battery life, and a good camera, you're not going to be disappointed with the Realme 8 Pro at all, because it really does hold its own with devices that cost closer to £1,000, 100,000 rupees if you're in India plus. And I'll show you guys another example as well here. Another thing that just so you guys have an idea of where corners tend to be cut when devices are a little bit more affordable, at a glance, all four of these images are pretty strong, I think. They look good to me anyway. But one thing that you will notice, actually, let me open QuickTime as well. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Now, if we just look at these four images here, as an example of things to look out for, because people always want to know, how do affordable devices stack up against the newest, biggest flagships from Samsung, OnePlus, and an iPhone, etc. There are certain things that normally give away the quality. So if you look at all four of these images, all four images are pretty good to me at a glance. They're nice shots. And this is the Realme 8 Pro on the far right here, image number 4, if you will. They all stack up nicely. I think the colors vary slightly. They do. I think the OnePlus 8 Pro actually has done the most balanced job of doing what looked like, that's what I saw standing there for me. The OnePlus 9 is a little bit moodier, but it's done a better job of keeping some of the details, particularly in the corners. And as the S21 Ultra, I think that's done a pretty good job of keeping the tones relatively neutral. Detail across the board is good, especially from the center to the edges. But the thing that you'll notice when you look at the details of cheaper devices is the corners tend to be a lot softer. So if we zoom in here, my laptop is having a mare. If we zoom in on all of these images, in that corner, you can see across the board, the Realme 8 Pro is a lot softer. It's just blurry, basically. OnePlus 8 Pro is a little bit sharper, but still quite blurry. Then the OnePlus 9 is arguably doing the best job in terms of detail, but it's a little bit noisier in the corners, especially in the shadowed areas where it's tried to raise the shadows. It's introduced a little bit more noise, whereas the OnePlus 8 Pro hasn't done that. It's just gone for a smooth look, which I guess is why it's a little bit softer as an image. And the S21 Ultra has gone for a balance between raising the shadows, introducing noise, and still retaining the detail. The biggest giveaway for me, though, when you're looking at more affordable devices, is the quality of the lenses, and that's what happens when you're having to cut costs somewhere. To keep the price of the device down, they've paid for a good sensor, but to keep the cost down, they've had to cut corners with the lenses. So you'll notice more purple fringing on close-up details, like between branches, or if you look between links on fences. Those kind of things will give away that purple fringing, and you'll get it around any kind of detailed areas. You see it a little bit there on the OnePlus 8 Pro. You don't see it very much at all on the OnePlus 9 unless you go right into the corners here. And on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, there's very little fringing at all. They've done a great job there, but I think that's because when you're paying for a premium phone, they've gone premium in terms of sensor and in terms of the lenses that they're actually using to let the light pass through to the sensor. So that's why you're getting better quality light getting into the sensor and not getting any of that chromatic aberration, which is what we call it in the photography world, that purple fringing. But if you zoom out, as a snapshot, I don't see how anyone buying the Realme 8 Pro is going to be disappointed with that performance, because for me, it's holding its own with cameras that cost, 4 times the price of the Realme 8 Pro at £279 or around 25,000 rupees, which is insane. I think people who are buying this device want a decent battery and they want a good, reliable camera that's going to take nice pictures and videos. I think you're getting a decent camera for the money. So that's it from me in the Realme 8 Pro. If you have any other comments or questions that I haven't had a chance to answer, please put that in the comment section below. But otherwise, in the meantime, subscribe. And I appreciate your feedback, so hit me up anytime if you have anything you wanted to know about photography in general. I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.